We have tour dates to announce. You can catch me on the road this summer. Yeah, this week even. May the 3rd be with you. At you. May the 3rd, I'll be in Jacksonville, Florida, at Bespoke House in Jacksonville, Florida. Tickets are limited. Only a few remain. Click the link in the show notes description. Get you your tickets if any do remain. And also, May the 10th, I will be in Logansport, Louisiana. May the 10th, Logansport, Louisiana. Followed by May the 11th, I'll be in Bossier City, Louisiana. Information and to get your tickets in the show notes in the description. Would love to see you, meet you, and without further ado, yeah, I'm rocking my own swag. Shameless plug. Brand new merch available in the merch store. You are my label. When you buy merch like this, get you a hoodie, get you a keychain, get you some sweatpants, holy shirts and pants. You are supporting and putting gas in the vehicle to get to the shows. You are my label, and I appreciate that so much. Also, exclusive Triers Club. Consider joining the Triers Club. Exclusive first looks, first listens, first watches, unreleased things altogether. Be in the know before everyone, or be in the know before anyone ever, and join the Triers. There are different versions available to you as far as memberships. I understand we are in a time where money is tight, and I get it. So for you to spend your time and your hard-earned money on me, with me, means so very much to me. Join the Triers, grab some merch when you can, come to a show, and also share a song. Every day, share a song day here. Check me out wherever it is you stream your music. All that's linked in the description. This is YDT. Season 3, episode 195 of YDT, a show which pulls back the curtain and takes down the walls, brick by brick, to expose the true hearts of those caring for those you love most. And this profession is incredible. This social media has been quite incredible, to say the least, and it's because of that I've been able to meet and connect with incredible people who I work alongside and have become great friends with. And this episode 195 is a perfect example of. I met this individual on TikTok. It was because of TikTok, believe it or not. We were rising the ranks together in the profession that we both served in, and all the rocks that then were thrown. We kind of experienced it, talked about it, not only privately, but we talk about it in this episode. She is a content creator. She is an influencer. She has millions of followers and fans, and she's my friend. Without further ado, ladies and gents, I would like to introduce you to my time with Lauren the Mortician. I should totally just throw you under the butt. I'm just totally kidding. Let's not put that out there into the world. Not at all. I'm totally kidding. Oh,
I hate watching back podcasts.
Why?
Like, I just film them in the moment. I don't want to rewatch them.
So, but who's editing?
I have a girl who edits them for me.
I was going to say, so you literally are that far removed once it records, once it goes into. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I wonder if that's a woman thing. I mean, really, because it doesn't bother me to look back, and you all are very self-aware of yourselves.
It could be a woman thing. But then what's weird is I have to edit TikToks all the time. I have no problem with those.
Do you?
But then the podcast, I'm like, nope.
Do you think it's because you are more transparent and you're afraid of what?
I guess I haven't really thought too much about it.
Yeah, maybe what you might have said, and you don't want the possibility of you filtering yourself. So you're just like, you know what? I'm done. I don't know.
I so judge myself so hard when I film these. I'm like, oh, why did I say that? I shouldn't have laughed or something.
That's interesting, because I'm going through this season of where I'm really focusing on not giving a shit at all about what people think. It's easier said than done. Absolutely. Especially, I'm going to ask you so many questions about that, but we're feelers, us, people as humans, but us and what we do and what we've done and where we've come from. And then it's like, why don't we be idiots and get on social media? I think it's better over there.
Exactly what they told us not to do.
They said everything's fine. Everything's going to be great. Everyone's going to be so kind and receptive. Yeah, the season of not giving a shit, I encourage you to really, there's a lot of freedom in it. I mean, I still do, but less, far less.
Stop reading the comments.
Stay out of the comments. I think the best thing if we're going to spend, we'll dive into that, but if we would spend any money on this world, I would say spend all of it on a moderator that just responds, because you don't, anyway. I always assume that I assume they do, because I remember, do you remember that moment whenever we first connected and I said, well, you said you have more followers than me. And that was like for like 2 seconds, I had more followers than you. And you started doing all of your stuff that propelled you and then some. But I remember that moment. Do you remember?
No.
Well, I have a really good memory though.
You have a really good memory.
When we connected, I remember vividly, I was in like 200 something thousand and you were in the 50s. And then after that, it was like, see you, Nathan. Peace. If we were competing, you won that race, my dear, for sure. So go ahead. Sorry.
The only reason was because of the story times. I did the story times, and that, like, I sold a piece of my soul to make those, because it was just like this constant labor of love, and I just did it over and over and over.
Mm-hmm. And you felt like you were probably slamming your head against the wall, and you didn't really know what the end goal, I guess, of that.
I just kept going.
Yep, that's interesting. I think that says a lot about kind of where you are and where I am, is because we kept going. But so I always assume everybody knows you because you have 1 trillion followers, but speak for people here aren't 7 years old, but where are you, who are you, and where have you come from, and what did you do with my dad?
Well, not everybody knows who I am, but I'm Lauren. I go by LaurentheMortician online, and I grew up in a funeral home. I started making TikToks back around COVID time, and there was a trend going around talking about ghosts, and I talked about my experience in the morgue, and then it kind of led to, well, wait a minute, why are you in a morgue at 3 a.m.? So I started doing Q&As, and then I started doing stories of crazy experiences with families, and it just kind of escalated from there, and then I blinked, and then now we're here.
You blinked. Yeah. You started, that's interesting, because you started talking about ghosts and stuff.
I did.
And that's kind of where, so imitation is the best form of flattery. I do a lot of that. I think I feel like I have figured out why people love it so much. It's because it's the unknown, and people want answers to everything. They want to know how, why, what, and because they may not have all the pieces connected. It's like this forever obsession. I don't know. Maybe I haven't figured it out, but it sounds good.
I feel like we were told all the time, or we have religion kind of shoved in our face growing up, and we're told all these things we should feel, but talking about the supernatural and experiencing it really makes you feel it. Especially if you experience something, or you hear other people having similar experiences, it really validates those experiences. And that's why I find them so interesting.
What was that story for people who haven't heard them? Because if you have to go back to the beginning, right? I mean, I would love to hear it too.
That would take you forever. You'd have to scroll.
30 hours later.
Yeah. So when I was in college, I did corner transports for one of the largest medical examiner offices, and I was always on call, and that's what I did through college. And I grew up in the funeral home. I didn't know I always wanted to do this, but my dad's like, hey, it'd be a great experience for you. You should just do it. So I was waking up to go to school at 8 a.m., but I was going out on corner calls at all hours of the night. Homicide, suicide, accidents, car accidents, you name it, I was going. And I had one night where I had to pick up a child who had died really suddenly. And I brought them to the morgue. It's my job to roll them into the receiving area, pull them from my cot to the table, the autopsy table, and then log them in the book. So I logged them in the book, and I have my back turned to the room, And all of a sudden I hear these footsteps coming down the hallway towards me. And I froze. Like it was like I could hear every breath that I was taking was too loud. I froze, and I started really listening to these footsteps that were coming up behind me, and it sounded like a child. Like they were sneaking up on me, coming up behind me. And I didn't have children at the time, but I used to nanny children. So I know what it sounds like when kids are trying to be sneaky and they're trying to sneak up on you. And all of the hair on the back of my neck, I had hair on my back I didn't even know existed, was standing up on end. And I froze. Like I couldn't even move. I couldn't turn around. I didn't want to look. And when the footsteps got to the end of the hallway, few feet from me, they stopped, spun around, and ran and went back down the hallway in the other direction.
Oh, oh my Lord.
And I can't just stop my job. So I busted it out of there, rolled them in the cooler as gently as I could, apologized, said I have to leave, and then ran out of there.
That's like, my first story is a child story. I was living above the funeral home.
I was going to ask you.
I lived above the funeral home, the first funeral home that I started at, and I was painting the sunroom. The Victorian funeral home has this really pretty sunroom, and I was painting it this navy color. The color has nothing to do with it. I spent 3 days on this room. It's huge, 14-foot ceilings, and I was so excited. My mom came by, so you have to come into the back of the funeral home. Then you have to go up 2 flights of steps. And you're familiar with funeral homes, but it's kind of like this hidden away stairwell. And I was telling my mother on the way up, I was like, Mom, there were kids playing. So the last night I was painting, I kept hearing, it sounded like sets of footsteps running right below me. The apartment was a square. And then right below that was 4 hallways. You could literally walk 4 hallways underneath. And it's an old building. And then when you have little kids running around, it's really loud. It sounded like they were playing with a ball of some sort. Like there was bouncing, but the footsteps, and it was all over the place. They even cut through the bathroom downstairs, which you have a north door entrance and a south door entrance. And so you could either go in or out of either side. It sounded like the kids were running through, much like what they have done during visitation, when you have to say, kids, we don't run in the funeral home. My mother, a very devout Catholic, I love her. I had experienced that. I was scared out of my mind, by the way, that night. I saw my mother on the way up the next day to show her the paint on the wall. Well, it's pretty, but Nathan, that didn't really happen. I swear the sun was going down. I don't know if it's because the sun was down, the kids come out and play kind of thing, but the thing happened again, and the kids you hear giggling and running. And my mom looks at me and she goes, we were getting ready to go back down. So I walk her out. She looked at me. She goes, you're scared. I know you're scared. You're scared. Let's go upstairs for a little bit. And I was like, I freaking told you, Mom. I told you. And she still, to this day, she doesn't want to fully say, yeah, that happened. But my mother, if I've ever seen her terrified, I can't recall except that one time. It was scary. Yes. So this whole thing, it happens. My brother Aaron, my older brother, do you have a family that would say, Lauren, you're bringing people with you, or you're bringing energy? So my brother Aaron, when he lived in his house before he got married, I would go and hang out with him a lot. And when I would leave, he'd text me because the chair would be rocking, or there would be someone walking through the kitchen. And he's like, what the hell did you do, Nathan? I don't know. Have you ever had that?
Where your family's calling you out?
Like saying, yeah, you feel that people, I don't say people, energy, spirits, whatever, are following. I've heard other funeral directors saying they feel like they're latched onto as they go home or go somewhere else. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. That happens.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. So you grew up in Florida?
No.
Where'd you grow up in?
In Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. That's right.
Wisconsin.
That's right.
Wisconsin.
Did you go to a big school, or did you go to a small school?
So my parents divorced, so I graduated high school in Minnesota.
You're like an army brat, but not. It's amazing. You're like one of those You're like one of those people who get up and travel a lot. So you went to Minnesota. Is that where mother lives?
Yep.
Got it. And then right after school, where did you go? What was your trajectory at that point?
So when I was in school, a month before I graduated high school, my cousin took his own life. So I remember growing up and my dad was like, "Are you going to take over the business?" And I'm like, "No." I had no desire. I didn't see myself doing what he did. I remember the late nights of like following him to the funeral home, and I would sit on the computer and play Sims, and he would be embalming. And then he'd be like, "All right, time to go." And then I'd leave the computer because we didn't have a computer at the house.
Wow.
That was when we weren't living next to the funeral home anymore. But
did you have the stereotypical child of a funeral homeowner growing up?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You were like, "Oh, this is normal. Let's go hide and seek in the selection room," kind of thing. And your friends or people at school were like, "Lauren, you're a freaking weirdo."
I remember growing up and we had like career day. And I said to my dad, I'm like, "Oh, you should come in and tell everybody what you do." He goes, "Nobody is going to want to hear me talk about embalming a body up in a third grade class." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, third grade. That's amazing. That's so
I didn't
awesome.
realize it was weird until he kind of told me that people might not want to hear about that.
Yeah. But when was the first time you saw an embalming? How old do you think you were?
It's so funny. I really don't remember because when we used to walk in the back room of the building before it was remodeled, and this building's been remodeled over and over and over.
It's getting added on to all these different
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, he converted garages into more space and then added another garage. So it's really just add-on after add-on. But when I was growing up, when we walked into the building, that was where he would keep people. Mm-hmm. And they would be on the dressing tables. And then the embalming table in the embalming room was super little, super outdated, original 60s, 70s curtains in there.
Oh yeah, looks like they've been smoked on like cartons a day kind of thing. Looked like nicotine. Yeah, I don't know if everybody smoked, but that's what I envisioned. Somebody smoking.
Yeah, they're orange, bright orange curtains.
That's amazing.
And I think he was really good about keeping us away from the embalming. In a way, we're really good about PPE and keeping things clean, and so he didn't have us in there while he was embalming. But I think it might have been maybe 8, 9, 10, and he had me stand at the door because my curiosity was just too strong.
Yeah,
and he said,
it is. Yeah, it is. It's like like a magnet. It's weird for maybe people who aren't in it or haven't dipped their toe even. But I feel like that's why people follow what we do. But you said us. Do you have siblings? No, yes?
Yeah, I have a couple sisters.
Yeah? Are you all close? Are you a middle child or no?
No, I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest. Okay. So you have like the motherly more. Mm-hmm. Is the middle child, like your middle sibling, actually very middle sibling-esque?
We fight all the time. Honestly, we could be twins.
It's amazing. I'm a middle child.
And then my youngest. Are you a middle one?
Oh, yeah.
Big time. Does anybody else do funeral directing?
No. My young brother, he is a funeral director, but he was smart and realized, wow, this is going to kill me. So he went and he has another career. And now he has forever, like he's super healthy, skinny guy, but he has like a heart murmur because of anyway, people don't realize it.
From the stress? No, they don't.
No. Do you have, your siblings don't do it or they want to do it or no?
No.
Dad, I bet is just, no. I bet dad is like, damn it, I hope one of these kids just hates their life enough to come and do this. It's amazing. So when did you graduated high school? Did you go straight into mortuary school or no?
I didn't go straight into it. I was going to be a dentist, but after I went to the funeral for my cousin who took his life, I just remember seeing him in the casket, and it was kind of this like life-changing moment for me where he didn't look like himself, and I wish I could have been the one who could have made him look like himself. I went to college. I fucking hated it. In the middle of fucking nowhere. And the only reason I went there, honestly, I had a scholarship to go there. My grandpa grew up on the reservation up in Minnesota, and the school out in Timbuktu, western Minnesota, has this grant where if you can show lineage of your Native American ancestry, you can go there for free.
Here it is.
So here it is. So I kind of just followed the motions. It wasn't like I was following my heart, and I hated it there. It was just, I didn't know the town. I didn't know anybody, and I left. Didn't go back. I dropped out. My dad was so mad.
Yeah.
And then I went back for the following summer, worked for my dad, and was like, yeah, I want to do this.
Yeah.
So I went to school that next year.
And you didn't go back to that school, or you did?
No, I didn't.
I'm going to put myself back through this travesty once again. That's interesting.
No, I went to the U of M.
Did you, so then you start, is that where you met your husband at school? Mortuary? Not mortuary.
School. No.
So I wonder what it's like. I want to hear from, obviously, your husband and his being with someone who's in the funeral profession. Because I obviously, you hear a lot more of, because it's been the man's world for the longest time in the sense of the funeral profession, and they go home to their spouse who's a wife. But let's flip the script here. What was it like at first? Was it hard on your all's relationship?
He was weirded out, definitely. I would ask him to go on death calls with me, naturally. Like, hey,
yes,
keep me awake at night. Will you go with me?
It's a date.
And yeah. And so he kind of got into it that way. But I just did a podcast with my mom because my mom had not been around death at all. And then she dated my dad. And she remembered going on a call with my dad. And she had a panic attack in the front seat. She's like, oh, I can't be in here. I can't do this. I can't do this. And my dad looked at her and he said, Joy, the dead can't hurt you. What are you doing? Breathe. You're going to be fine.
Unless the cot slaps her chair.
And that was kind of a pivotal moment for her.
Yeah. So your husband, he's not whatsoever in the field. Like he does something totally different, right? He's smart. Yeah. So you start going to work and you're working with your dad. You and your dad, it's fun, the videos that you've put out there. He seems really laid back. Like you all get along, it seems well, right? I mean, it's not really difficult to get along with you, it seems, but yeah. So why did you take a step away from, and then I want to talk about that, but you took a step away and the reason was because?
Yeah. So my youngest was a super colicky baby, like to the point that I couldn't leave him with anybody because he was screaming all the time. I went into the pediatrician and she's like, oh, it doesn't matter that he can't latch onto a bottle. I couldn't even breastfeed because the kid could not latch. And she's like, oh, he'll get over it eventually. He'll grow out of it. He never did. I wasn't sleeping. I couldn't drive to go on any calls. So I ended up going to YouTube and I'm, in my manic depression mom mode.
Yep.
And I ended up finding out that my kid had a tongue tie. And my pediatrician misdiagnosed it 3 times.
Wow. I bet you still use them, right?
No.
Oh, shit. It's amazing. It's amazing. Wow. Yep.
So when I was supposed to go back after my maternity leave, my kid was still screaming all the time. And I couldn't leave him with anybody. So I ended up doing part-time work. And then I kept doing part-time work. And that's kind of still what I do to this day. I go where I'm needed.
Yeah. So you're still getting that, like, I call it the fix, right? So it's interesting because you were full-time and then you're like, I'm going to be a mom and take care of my children. And then COVID, and you and I have a lot of parallels. You post videos, they go bananas, and you're like, well, this is fun because I'm able to educate people, help people, connect with people. And then you have the red pill and blue pill, which is, holy shit, this has become something really big. do I make myself, do I choose this path that's, for me, I'm speaking now, that has pretty much been killing me, right? Like the videos I was live on TikTok earlier, and I was saying for people who was joining that didn't have any idea, I'm still telling the same story, it seems, which is totally fine. But people came because of the pandemic and what it did. It took so much from so many, right? Whether it's a will to live or a will to thrive or a loved one. And I think it permitted people to talk about their grief or to talk about their loss. And then here come, Lauren the Mortician and me and a few others. And it's like, well, this is why we do what we do. This is how we do what we do. And they latched on. But it was so big, so quick that I had to pick my poison, really. And I love creating, and this is what I've always done. So I chose this, but it did not come without then adding the extra layer of everyone knows bucking everything. And they think, oh yeah, this is what you should have done, or Nathan's this, or Lauren's that. And then you have the aftermath. So so you chose being a parent, being a mother, right? And it's hard to step away full time from. How was that?
Gosh, I felt like I sacrificed a part of my soul.
I want to talk about that. So I know how I felt, but when you said, I'm going to be at home and I'm going to care for my children. What was that like for you? How long do you feel like, did you grieve? Did you talk about that?
I so grieved. I so cried. If you would have come to Lauren, the version of me before I became a mom, and when I was in mortuary school, and if you would have said, are you going to take a break and do maternity leave? Are you going to send your kids to daycare? I would have been like, daycare all the way. Hell yeah. Yep. But something changes in your brain when you have to care for and bury children who never got a chance, or mothers that never got a chance to be a mother. That has stuck with me. Hearing children cry up at the casket of their mother, and you really realize how short life is and where your priorities are. And being a mom changed me. And I remember being in arrangements one day, and I had this 90-year-old little old lady, and her husband had passed, and she was so sweet. And I was talking to her, and we were writing the obituary for her husband. And as you do, I start asking her about her life, and she tells me that she stayed home with her kids. And I said, I'm really debating taking a step back and staying home with my kids full time. And she looked at me and she said, I want you to know, I'm 90 years old right now. I never regretted my choice to stay home with my kids. Ever. I never regretted staying away from my career for a short time and being there full time for my kids.
Wow.
And she was right. I don't regret it. However, it doesn't mean that I didn't still mourn, because I love working. I love my job. I love getting to meet new people. I love getting to care for people. It's like my life's purpose. And when I started making TikToks, it made me feel like I was still doing my job full time, because I got to talk about it and people wanted to know more about it.
You're still able to feed that. That's a really beautiful story. It's amazing what we learn from those that we serve. And I think if the best gift the profession gave to me is, whether you have much, whether you have little, I don't care where you've come from, people are longing for community, and all they want is to know that they're respected and valued. It's what we want so bad. And to sit across the table from all walks of life and just to be present, and them to be able to see that and it be a gift that they, we're talking about the Hispanic community, very, very tight knit, very tight knit. We're talking about the African American community because, there was a block and a half from our location, there was an African American funeral home. And for them, primarily to choose us and to sit and allow us to sit with them. And they do things, which, by the way, their funerals are by far my favorite. You get saved every time, over and over. It's like I've been saved at least 100 times, but it's a huge gift. That's the best gift I've ever been given. I think just to recognize that people are incredible. But when you're at home and you're doing these TikToks, and at what point, if there ever was, did you ever say, what the fuck did I do? Okay, because you're
just shared a meme the other day, and it's like, what the fuck am I doing, and how in the fuck did I get here?
It's amazing. I did not see that, I promise. So you do. So sometimes you're just like, what in the fuck am I doing? That's amazing.
It's crazy. Sometimes you come to a crossroad in life and you have to make a decision and you got to commit, and you take that road, and sometimes it's bumpy and sometimes it's smooth. But at the end of the day, I really feel like we all take the paths we're supposed to take for some sort of a reason.
Do you still find it overall really fun? Are you still in the season? Well, I don't even call it a season. I feel like you do really a great job at, and you seem like you really enjoy it. But are you overall, I really enjoy it? Or are you in this moment maybe where it's like more tough? Where are you at right now with that creative process?
I really enjoy it. It always has its highs. It has its lows. I have found great joy in expanding from TikTok too. So
talk about
doing
that.
Instagram, doing Facebook. The algorithm always changes on TikTok, but Facebook and Instagram. So maybe you put out a video and it doesn't do so well on one platform. You have a chance again, and again.
Mm-hmm.
So I started a Patreon, and what's been super fun about that is getting to know people better. So it costs money. It's like $5 a month, price of a cup of coffee, but I make extra content for them. And then by them being a part of it, we do like this little community, and I know them by name, and you really start to form new friendships, relationships, and you look forward to, I keep hearing myself, and I'm like, it's fucking my face.
I don't know why. I'm so sorry. This is the shittiest setup ever. Look at this, everybody. It's just terrible.
I keep hearing myself, so I keep stumbling over my words.
I'm so sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, Lauren is not intoxicated. No. She is.
I can't say relationship, and I couldn't say direction.
I knew what you were saying.
This
awesome.
Is headphones.
Yeah, well, so I agree. I was told I have a members only group, and we do that very same thing. It's like this building of community and first name basis, and like I call them my OGs, like ground level people. OG. But you're right. You actually just encouraged me, because I got in trouble on Facebook. I didn't know. A month and a half. I've been restricted on Facebook, and I was like, my stuff is, because I would get, my videos would get hundreds of thousands of views, and I'm barely getting 1,000 and 2,000. So I was on, your chat. There's, by the way, props to Meta. They're stepping it up with customer support. It's white glove, but they were like, sir, you have been restricted for violating our policy. Here is what your violation was. And they sent it to me. So apparently, you know how you can, when people like and heart or thumbs up, and you can go in, there's like a Meta suite. You can go in and see who's interacted with your content, and you can invite them. So you can select all and then invite who's done that. Well, apparently I went after a large influx of interaction on my page, and I invited apparently tens of thousands of people to follow me. Yeah, so I didn't know.
Oh, no.
I wasn't paying attention, but I didn't even know up until last week. And I was like, so what they said is they slap you on the wrist by throttling down your reach. Oh my gosh, I went from getting 5,000, how it goes, a lot of followers a month. And this month I have 63 new followers, but I'm noticing that they're less loosening up on it. So yeah, we were talking about that not too long ago, about how you've been going on Facebook and doing that.
Yeah. Do you want to know why I had to go on Facebook?
What happened?
I didn't want to be on Facebook.
Oh no.
Oh, someone was Facebook, and I'm like,
what happened? Yes. Tell it.
I didn't want to go on Facebook because I'm like, oh, my grandma's on Facebook, and like all my family's gonna find me. The one girl who doesn't like me in high school is gonna find me. And then I got a message one day on Instagram, and the gal's like, oh, I saw your Facebook got hacked. I'm so sorry. And I'm like,
oh no,
bitch, what?
Bitch, what? It's amazing.
Bitch, what? I don't have a Facebook. this person had like 600,000 followers on Facebook making money off of my videos.
Did you get any of that?
Nope.
That's bogus. Did they figure out they shut them down?
No, they don't shut them down. They sell the page after they get so many followers.
Oh, did you get your page back? Did you get it or no?
No, I never had one.
Oh, I mean, that's...
So then I made one, and now I have a Facebook, and I don't know how to get it verified, but it's fine.
Oh, my Lord. Lauren, we'll help you. We'll help you on that. Yeah, so you go on Facebook. Which one's your more fun one right now? You know, like right now, I'm actually enjoying YouTube a lot. It's like my new jam.
How many subs you got on YouTube?
Only like 10,800. Not a lot.
I just had a reel pop off, so I think I'm just about to hit 20,000 subs.
That's bogus. That's amazing. When did you stop? Like, we're talking about numbers, but I stopped a long time ago, but when did you stop looking at the number?
Probably early last year.
Interesting.
Because when you have the other platforms, it kind of becomes more exciting to get those ones built up than it is.
Yeah. What you've already kind of established?
Yeah. And at the end of the day, the followers and the likes and the views don't give me dopamine hits. Mm-mm. It's not really about that anymore. It's more about like the quality of the content, what's fun for me, even if it tanks. Maybe people don't like it. As long as I had fun doing it, then it's going to want to make me keep creating.
My stop looking moment was, it was like 400,000. I stayed at this number for forever. And I was like, what in the hell is going on? I didn't know what to do. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. I'm done worrying about it. Yeah. So since then it's had its ups and downs. I think the algorithm changing all the time. It's basically just probably throwing out the people who are doing it for the wrong reasons maybe. But the most fun video, and then I'm going to ask you this, for me, the most fun video I've done recently was I did a drone video where I'm walking to the mailbox and I'm dancing to a song, and I have an umbrella and I'm kind of just twirling it around. And I had so much fun. I was like, this was fun for me. I'm going to put it out there. And it did relatively well. What is a video that you're like, that one was really fun for me, whether or not it had a billion trillion views or not? Do you think like that? I just noticed, do you do this too when you think?
I did, didn't I? Yeah.
I do that all the time. I literally am all the time like playing with my fingers. If you're not listening, or if you're just listening, you can watch this on our.
We're doing crab claws right now.
Yes, that's amazing. That's awesome. So what's a video?
I love I just went to my friend Amy's house and we just posted a bunch of little videos together. And, they don't do as crazy because it's not your normal content, but I don't mind. We just had so much fun making it. And I love looking back at them and it makes me smile.
That's sweet. Are you a person that if you're recognized at dinner or something, do you love to interact with people? Are you shy? Are you quiet? What is your personality like in real life? Like, I know you're real on TikTok and social, but in person, if I walk up to you at a restaurant.
When my hair was pink, I had a lot more people recognize me out in public. It was kind of like this beacon. Mm-hmm. And I've had people come up and their faces they almost look like they're scared.
Ah, what are you doing here?
I had one lady come up at the bar the other night. I was out with my friend Gabby. Gab comes up, she goes, "You look just like Lauren." And I wanted to fuck with her so bad.
Oh no.
Do I? Who's that?
That's amazing.
But I can't. My heart can't. So I'm like, that's me. And we had a moment. We hugged, and it was really sweet. Everybody's normally pretty sweet, so I really do like when they come up and say hi. I feel bad when they're like, "I saw you at Walmart." I'm like, "Why didn't you say hi?" Like, I was afraid. I'm like, "No, don't be afraid."
I'm a I'm a human being. That's what I tell people. Be not afraid. I have to tell on you. Maybe we can cut this part out. But like, you sent me a text one time and we were like, "Let's do a song together." I was like, "Hell yeah!" But you had been drinking apparently, and you were super confident. So Lauren, you sing, but after, I think it was the day later or the couple of days later, we were talking about it, and you're like, "Oh, I can't really sing. I mean, I can, but I was drunk." We can cut that out. That's amazing. We really should
or do karaoke and stuff, but I am no. We could do something for fun. I would love to do something for fun.
It's funny because the thought of me doing karaoke makes me a nervous wreck.
Really?
Karaoke has the group of karaokeans, you know what I'm talking about, where they are like in it to win it. They're sitting there like the legit. They don't want to go to a Leonard Skinner concert. They want to go to the bowling alley karaoke bar, and they will absolutely take it super serious. Yes, they would eat me alive in there.
I was a choir kid, so it was always so focused on hitting notes perfectly every single time. Mm-hmm. And it kind of takes the fun out of it. So for karaoke, for me, it's like, oh, we're just out having fun.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you hit the note or not.
Makes me so nervous because that's the choir kid in me coming out. And I'm like, oh, I'm over there on the side of the smoky stage. I'm getting my lungs right. They're like,
you were a tenor, weren't you?
Well, what am I now? Am I soprano? Now I'm on the spot. What is it? It's baritone. Is it alto?
Baritone, alto.
Soprano, tenor? Tenor, soprano? See? Now I'm all scared. I don't know what I am. I've got a falsetto. I don't know. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know. I had such a high-pitched voice before puberty, and I was way up there. And then when I went through puberty, I actually went 2 years without even, I was so mad because I had to reclaim it. And I had to kind of learn how to sing again. So I spent 2 years off. I should have went to the bars. Should have went to the karaoke bars. I know. Here's this 14-year-old
I got to come over and we got to go out.
Absolutely. How do you unplug? Like, do you have a brain that's constant? You put the kids to bed and then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to get a little bit of work in. And people, if you don't know the world, and Lauren, you can speak to this probably more, but in social media influencer world, I mean, you pick and choose. Like, you have a brief window to maybe do a quick edit here or a quick reply here, a quick email here. What is your way of, unwinding or, after a long day?
I have to put the phone away. So it's got to go on the counter, and then maybe a glass of wine and we watch a movie. I love to read. Do you?
So you're not an audiobook. You're actually page flipper.
I can't get into audiobooks yet. I'm going to try, but yeah, I do on my phone.
That's interesting. Do you you have all your notifications on your phone off, don't you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Does your app, I'm sure it does, say, turn on notifications? If you're like, hell no. Like, bitch, hell no.
And when I'm not on call, I don't want my phone going off, because when my phone goes off, my heart sinks because I'm like, do I gotta go?
Mm-hmm.
Like the PTSD, do I gotta go?
Mm-hmm. Interesting. That's interesting. Do you hate your phone?
I do hate my phone.
Do you ever find yourself getting mad at the person that texted you? They didn't do anything wrong. Like, have you ever gotten a text from me and you're mad at me because your phone just went off? Do you know what I mean? You're like, God damn, who the fuck that is? I don't like them.
So I go through these bursts where I know I have a ton to do. The message will go off and I'll be like, oh, I got a text. And it went right over. And I forget that I even got it. Like, my brain saw it, but it didn't process that I got it because I had so much to do, and I had this editing to do, and I got to put the kids to bed, and I got to do laundry and dishes. And then when I come back to my phone, I'm like, oh, I got to respond to comments, DMs, go to Patreon, edit.
It's nonstop editing. It's good to have someone who's supportive in that world, honestly, because from someone who, up until I sold the company in July of 2023, it would take me, if you know what you're going to film, you can film in 10 minutes, like a week's worth of content, literally. But people who tend to just be lazy and just perceive what they want, they just assume that you're just playing around in the funeral home all day long, just fucking around. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's good that you have someone that's supportive and is like, I know that Lauren's not over here just like sliding into DMs and stuff, unless you are. My foot.
Not in time.
Oh my gosh.
No, you don't know what my latest DM is?
Yes. I bet you get, okay, I want you, yes, tell me that story, and then I have a question.
What's the OnlyFans starting?
Yeah, no, that's literally what you get. I get that too.
Do you?
Yeah, from...
What did they say? From random women?
From men.
No.
Swear. 4. I've counted 4. Now, I don't know the number of women that have asked me, but I know of 4 men that have asked me. So apparently I
love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're a hot commodity.
Apparently. Yeah. I inserted... Probably, yes, it's the hair. I inserted my foot in my mouth. I said the stupidest thing yesterday. So I started this new thing. I'm going live during the day on all the platforms. Super fun, by the way. Now I'll have to get the actual platform to you. It's pretty cool. But I was talking, and I don't know exactly what I said, but it was something that sounded sexual. And then I was like, okay, I was trying to trip over. And then I started saying, oh, it's like me being on OnlyFans. I'm like, fuck, that didn't help it any. And so I just kept going. And I was like, I don't even know what type of content I would put on OnlyFans. And I'm like, Nathan, shut up. It's like,
opened the well and
I just kept, yes, it was so stupid. That was dumb. That was probably one of my more dumb moments. Do you have any moments that you can reflect on? You're like, that was kind of dumb on social. I probably shouldn't have done that or said that. Not because of what you thought not because of what you were worried about people thinking or saying or doing, but just how you felt. You're like, that was fucking stupid. Do you have any of those?
I've definitely done that before.
It's like, damn it. That's awesome. But I love being like, I'm like an idiot. I'm like an idiot in the best way.
And like fly by the seat of your pants.
A lot of times. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like I have a camera over there. It's like a, oh no.
I wanted to turn my brightness down. Hold on. It's blinding me.
Oh, I thought we had technical difficulties. I have this camera over here. It's, I was a nerd and I was Googling the Netflix approved cameras. So apparently you have to have certain types of cameras to even be approved that are shot, that they approve for video, for movies, shows, what the hell ever. I was like, well, I need that one. So we got this like 6K Black Magic something camera, and it just sits over there because I don't know how to do it. It's way too much of a camera for me, but that's me flying by the seat of my pants. I'm like, that's badass. I need that. That thing's going to be incredible one day when I'm shooting a feature film. So stupid. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Who are you following right now that's like a recent follow and you just absolutely enjoy their content?
I do ASMR stuff.
What? There are people people love it. Why? What is it? What is it?
It's just so calming. And then when you're editing and running around with kids all day and they're like, let me comb your hair. And
that's what that's what you like. You like hearing the hair combing stuff?
Personal attention.
Personal attention. What's that?
They take care of you. They brush your hair, do your facial.
Wait. No. You're talking a video? Oh. So they're just like, and you get to hear all this.
You don't have any ASMR on your phone?
None. I hate it. Hate it more than anything. Like, look. My nose on the line. I hate it. It just, maybe I'm just not listening to the right stuff.
I have had people in my inbox. They're like, can you please do ASMR at the funeral home? Like, you do the ASMR on me like I'm your...
That's interesting.
And
well, I had someone today ask me on YouTube during the live, I don't know what I had done. I was moving something and they said, do that again. It sounds good ASMR. I'm like, it's amazing. That's interesting. So that's what you do.
A video where you just whisper in the microphone.
Yes, that's amazing.
Facts about the funeral.
Facts about the funeral. 704. Funeral home is scary as fuck, and the carpet's really dirty. Don't.
It would stop. I would listen.
Do not drop a peppermint on the carpet and then pick it up and put it in your mouth.
Go clean the bathrooms.
We accidentally. Never mind. Never mind. I can't. I'm not doing it. I'm not going there.
Washing the first ASMR.
Oh, that.
I should have done.
That. I would sign up for that show. That's for sure. That's for sure.
I'll have to do that.
That's amazing. We should do, you know what you and I should do? We should do a versus challenge. Like you do an ASMR video and I have to mimic it. And then I'm like replying and then we go back and forth. Do you remember what was the pour the bucket of water challenge?
Yeah.
We should do ASMR funeral home shit where I do a tit for tat. And that should be
You're going to fucking hate me right now.
What?
My phone is 1% battery.
That's pathetic. Well, that's what we'll do.
Can I plug my phone in?
Yeah. Can you plug it in there?
I could take like this, but then
People will be like,
I don't hear it.
Nathan's farting. I'm not farting.
Yes.
I'm not farting,
I
guys.
just saw a girl on live. She's gaming, and every time her character did something, it let out a big, like it passed gas, and people would stop and listen.
That's amazing. That's so funny. I think there's a new one of my favorite podcasts that I listen to right now is Theo Vaughn. I love because his cadence is so ridiculous. He's like, he just sits in this silence and everybody's like, where the fuck is he going with this? He interviews so many people, chill, didn't care. It's fine. But he interviewed a guy that's a gamer and he's blown up in the past year. His name's last like Sketch. Do you watch gamers? Is that what you're getting at or no?
I do watch gamers.
My gosh, that's a new thing I never knew about you. So what's your game that you watch? I'm going to find this guy's name while you're telling me.
I love the nostalgic games where people are playing like Zelda.
The ones like that you grew up on.
Bandicoot. Yeah. So I'll pop it on while I'm folding laundry or something, and they'll be live. Or else they'll play these new games I've never seen, and they're the adventure games where it follows a storyline. Crazy graphics.
Oh, it's not it's not the role playing games like not dungeons.
I've watched those too.
Do you play that?
No, I don't have time to play, but I'll pop it on while I'm doing laundry or something.
My brother is a huge critical role play. He follows, there's like a huge group in Hollywood, actors, actresses, writers and stuff. And they have an awesome show. And he watched it on Twitch and he showed me the last 10 minutes of the previous season. And they're all talking, and I don't know much about it, but they're in this world, this whatever, and they're fucking crying and they're so into these characters. It was gut wrenching, and I'm over here getting ready to tear up. My brother is so moved by it. John's like the world's exploding, guess we better go now. But he gets so much joy out of it. He's the game master. I guess that's what they're called, right? Where they're controlling, but people love that stuff. And that's a whole world of its own. But you watch games, gaming streamers, whatever. You were live the other day. I guess why do people love watching Getting Ready with Me? What do you think it is?
I have no idea.
Like, it is I say it all the time. People celebrate the mundane. Mm-hmm. Like, I tell the story of my granddad teaching me to tie a tie. He freaking tied a tie for 43 years. It was just a stupid thing that he did. He was like, I'll show my grandson. But it's something every time I tie one, I remember him. But, here I am. I click and you're live and you're getting ready. And females will, do their makeup or whatever it is that you'll do. But people freaking just watch. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. I mean, I'm over here.
I started doing Instagram Q&As.
How's that going?
While I'm getting ready. And then I can save those, put them in a highlight on my page, or take them and use them as content on other platforms.
That's a brilliant thing. So how could a guy do that? You know, because I literally get ready after the shower and I put face lotion on, my hair dries in 1 second. I put powder in it and I'm done. It's like, okay, get ready with me. See you guys. Okay, I'm going to go eat waffles now. Is that literally getting ready with me? What is it?
Women love men that do face steps, face care.
Oh, I do that. I do that. Oh, yeah.
Go through your skincare routine.
That's amazing. But do you ever find, are you your worst enemy where you start to do a piece of content or you don't at all? You're like, I'm not taking pictures or doing video on this. It's not important. People don't care. But are you your worst enemy when it comes to that? Do you struggle with that too?
I hate taking pictures of myself.
Man, why? Like, you are very photogenic. That's interesting. Why? So when you say photos, is that literally the struggle for you? Or I'm talking like you're at, like for instance, you went to the human compost, like you were invited to go to the human compost. And I want you to talk about that in a second, but obviously you're there for a job. So maybe that's not a good example. I don't know. I find myself when I go to the Haymarket. It's a place in Louisville, Kentucky. It's super cool market, local, everything's grass fed as far as when they bring in meat and stuff. It's a really cool vibe. And I know it'd be fun. It'd be good content, but I don't ever. I'm all in my head. I'm like, that's fine. It's boring. That's what I struggle with. That's my biggest struggle. It's weird.
I'll tell you something, but you might want to cut it.
That's fine. I'll cut it.
So I was at Amy's house, that medium, this weekend, and she popped off on TikTok before TikTok was crazy big. So probably like in, I don't know, 2020, 2021 with her psychic stuff.
Yeah.
And when you hit a million followers, see, I can't, a million followers.
Followers. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm sorry. You know, I'm going to just throw all this equipment away and we'll start over tomorrow.
No. You're telling me how nice it is. You're going to fucking just scratch it.
Yeah, it's fine. This shit sucks. Fuck all this. That's amazing.
She told me that when you hit a million, you got a TikTok rep. So she had these meetings with TikTok reps and they would tell her strategy shit. And they said that TikTok wanted her to stick with her brand. So if she posted anything that was out of the norm for her brand, the algorithm doesn't know what the fuck to do with it. And it won't push it.
So if it's not funerals, then it's just gonna.
Because they want you to stay they want you to be different. They don't want you to be like every other influencer. You have your content, they reward you for it, and they want you to stay in the lane.
Mm-hmm. So how do you stay in the lane of yeah, that's interesting. So does she do readings on you?
So I try not to ask her because that's her job and that's what she does for a living. But sometimes, I mean, we'll be on the phone and I think I have a house ghost.
It's awesome. See? Yes. Followed you home. That's what it did.
I think it did. I think it didn't just follow me home. I think it follows me like all the time.
That's interesting. So it comes with you when you go places, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you say this in the beginning of this entire fucking interview? And I'm like, you ever heard stories about where people latch on and you're like, to my family? No, I've never had that shit. And you're over your fucking best friends with a invisible character friend. It's bullshit.
So I'm talking to her and I said, do I have a ghost in my house? And I kind of knew I did, but I just kind of wanted to see what she would say. And she goes, oh, just give me a minute. She gets really quiet. She goes, yeah, I think you do. I'm like, okay, well, anybody could say that. She goes, okay, give me a minute. They said you got a new fridge. Do you like your new fridge? I did get a new fucking fridge. I had not told a fucking soul I got a new fridge. Where'd she pull that out of?
Yep. I have.
She could have said dishwasher. She could have said washer and dryer. She could have said
new appliance. And yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, new appliance.
That stuff. If people don't believe, that's okay, because that's the whole thing, is we don't have to all believe the same thing. But there are people, and I can't. You know how it is. It's like, I don't want to say this. this is not their job. It's not their job, but ever since they were a little girl, this is what they've been sensitive toward. And I was talking to her about her primary role in her involvement with me. We work together on stuff, and she just starts like popping off about something that's going on in my life that is very much not out there in the world. No one can see or read about it. And it was so specific and particular. And I said, yes. And then they went even further, and I'm like, yes. And then they go, I'm like, what the fuck? Where are you right now? She's in New York City, by the way. And then she says the most poignant thing and puts the cherry on the top. And I'm like, the fuck you say? It was so precise. So as someone who was, I don't want to say I wasn't ever non-believer, but I was skittish about it. And now but I am on that realm and world of, I do believe there is goodness. And then there is it's like taking a talent and using it for bad. That's, with anything in life. And I think with something like that, I think you have to be careful because it could be something that someone uses for not good. But that's interesting.
Everybody's got a tarot card deck on this TikTok app now.
I know. But
let me pull you a card. You're going to get broken up with.
Let me pull you a card. Oh, wow, you're dead.
Yeah.
You died. Are you scared of death or no?
No.
You're not scared to die?
I mean, I'm not looking forward to it.
Right. Yeah. Are you, the thought of you dying is not something that you get on that Ferris wheel and you're like, oh shit.
The process of dying makes me go, oh shit, but the after doesn't make me go, oh shit. Like the thought of after. Because I've almost died.
When?
I was 12 years old. And I choked on cheese and crackers.
Wow.
And I had my life jacket on. We were on the boat on a lake in Wisconsin. And my face started turning blue. My dad realized I was choking. And he was a paramedic for many, many years. So he comes up to me, he grabs me, and he starts smacking me on the back. And thankfully, I had my life jacket on. And he couldn't get it out of my throat. It was not dislodging. I remember my mom panicking, going, Pat, she's turning blue. She's turning blue. And I thought, this is it. I'm done.
Even as a little kid, you remember that?
I remember. So I had no air, but I remember coming to a point where I was accepting it was over. And there was like this calmness that came over me. And if I would have passed out, it actually would have been peaceful. But I started pushing food out of my mouth, and somehow my dad was able to dislodge it.
Mm.
But I do remember there was this peaceful point where it comes where you panic, and then there's peace. And I think it was right before passing out.
Wow. That is I'm so intrigued by that moment. They have found out. That's a very near death experience, but people who have passed out, whose hearts have stopped or whatever, there is a time that scientists, doctors are recognizing, and they don't know how to trace when it's going to happen, but they know that if they can stop this moment, then they can prevent death. So crazy.
Ooh,
preventing.
That's interesting.
Yes. So I've been, obviously I'm not down the rabbit hole, but I'm so intrigued by that thought. And I wanted for a long time to get people to tell their near-death experiences. My uncle, this is always amazing to me. He died. He was having a massive heart attack. He's dead. He's dead. They put him in the front seat, passenger seat. My aunt, his wife, sits behind him, grabs the lever or whatever, uses the automatic to make his seat go down, and she's doing chest compressions. And my other is driving him to the hospital. She's doing chest compressions, and they're just going. And they pull into emergency. The driver goes out. You know, my uncle, he's had a massive heart attack. He's dead. They run, they get him, they take him back. They're working on him. And my uncle, is above himself. He is at total peace. He sees his physical body and everyone, all chaos. And then he realizes, everybody's going to be great. I want to be where I'm going. And he's told, you must not. And he says, but my kids are great. Everyone will be fine. They have a great family. I'm happy. I'm happy here. I'm peaceful. No. So he still suffers from PTSD and depression because of the immense peace that he experienced, and he longs for that.
Wow.
Think about that. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. I mean, that's like amazing. It's so sad, but it's amazing.
And it's amazing because, well, it's sad because how fragile humans are, we are, and how our hope for those who think of eternity as this place of eternal peace and comfort and joy, that if that is our eternal reward, if that's what we long for, that it exists, that it's there for us for the taking. And someone like my uncle who experienced it and now struggles with sadness because he wants to go back, but will one day. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I've never been close to, well, I take that back. We don't have to go down that road, but I feel like I have this intrigue with, but I'm scared of death. I've never seen anyone die, ever. Have you seen someone die?
I walked in, my mom brought us to say goodbye to my great grandma.
And of course she waits till Lauren comes in the room.
She didn't die, but she was in the process of dying.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked so painful. I'm not going to lie. She was rocking back and forth and her breathing was really labored. And I remember leaving there. It was a super negative experience for me. And the other thing I can hope is that she really wasn't in her body at that time. And I hope she was more so like above it, kind of like your uncle was.
And that's why I love Hospice Nurse Julie and those accounts that are able to really put people at ease. And that's the whole why I continue to show up for TikTok. But did you get a lot of pushback from the profession? Where they like, Lauren, I mean, not the stupid, well, all of it's stupid pushback, respectfully, but did you have a lot of noise from people in our field?
Mm-hmm.
Bullies, bullies in the business is what I call them.
Yeah, but I don't go on the funeral director Facebook pages anymore. Are you on those? Get off of them.
I don't ever look at them, ever. Now, I do follow like hearses. I'm like weird about, I love vehicles all of a sudden. I mean, past couple of years, I'm obsessed over the weirdest stuff. I'm like, I want a 1928 truck. I hope not, because that would mean I'd be dead by the time I'm like 67, 68, however old.
I don't even know how old you are.
I'm 30. I just turned 39.
I thought you were younger than that, actually.
Well, do you, so go back to the Facebook group. Like, obviously there's that, but tell me about some, like, if you care to, I mean, I'll tell you mine, but bullies like that are total ass fucks. I'll cut that one out. Shit.
I think her videos are still up, but she was like, I don't know. Some girl was trying to say that she was a real mortician and I wasn't.
Weird.
Oh no, where'd you go? Oh, there you are.
Here I am. I don't know why. The camera died. Wow. Look at this. This is just the shittiest environment ever.
This is a shit show.
This is awful. It's like,
this is great.
This is like Russian roulette of technology. Speaking of,
now
back
you're
to
so far away.
Here, I don't know how to make the thing zoom in. You can do this. Watch. Hold on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Stop. Halt. Stop. Stop it. Come back.
I feel like this is some Dr. Evil shit. Yeah.
Come back. Here I am. Come back. Halt. It won't do it now. It's fine. That'll be fine for now. Okay, so she made videos of you not being a real mortician.
Yeah, and so I flashed my degree.
That's good. You are. I do like that about you, because at first I was like, yeah, I just avoid it. Just don't talk about it, and it doesn't exist. But I think there comes a time where we have like dignity, self-worth, and dignity, and we need to be like, all right, assheads, like, shut up now. I don't know. I
feel like it's because I'm a woman and I have people coming for me because of my degree. I have people that they're like, oh, I'll only ever listen to Caitlin Doty. And I'm like,
yeah. Do you have, like, aside from me and the mortician talk world, do you talk to anybody else or no?
Yeah. Yep, I have a couple of friends.
I'm very like there's you, and then I met in the music world Kayla Diamond. She's amazing, Canadian. Her story's awesome, really cool. She was a pop artist. COVID happened, the team fell apart. She was going to be huge. I mean, still is incredibly successful. She's like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'll just become a producer. Oh, but I got to learn. So she's one of those people, she can hear a song and she just starts playing it. She has no idea about reading notes. Yeah, it pisses me off. She's like a savant. And she is the most talented songwriter I've ever met. That woman, we sit in a room and I'm like, this is what I want to write about. And I'm over here like getting, like, we have this way of writing now. And she has this way to formulate the sentence and it just is so amazing. But she went to YouTube like you did. And she just, obviously your child's health is far more important. I'm not comparing that, but just the YouTube, she went to YouTube University and she learned Logic Pro and she learned all of the tech stuff. And now she's like one of the most sought after producers in Canada. She works in these huge studios. She's only been a producer for like 3 years, but she's working with the biggest artists and bands in Canada. So it's pretty cool. But do her and pretty much it. Funeral Babe. Funeral Babe's awesome. She obviously goes by Funeral Babe because she doesn't want people to know her name, so I won't say it, but she's been awesome. I actually circled you all in on a text message that day thinking that you all were like bros too. And you're like, you sent me a text outside of that and you're like, who did you connect me with? You remember that?
I am horrible at saving people's names in my phone.
That's hilarious.
Horrible. It's my greatest downfall. I'll talk to you all day and then I'll forget to put the name in my phone.
You need a virtual assistant. It's only like $29 a month, I think. I don't know. A virtual assistant, they would do that stuff for you. They have to sign all these like NDAs and they have to sign all these contracts.
That's a thing?
Lauren, I could streamline your life for you probably. Yes.
I just figured out what chat
GPT. Oh yeah, it's amazing. I'm going to talk to you about another platform that is built in with that, and it's life-giving for me. It's called Blaze. So Blaze, we're over here jumping all over the place. My brain is, I love AI, and I'm all about jumping in, buying 6K cameras, and then I realize that doesn't work, or that doesn't work, but it's like I've already invested this time. But I know.
Camera stack on.
Yeah, I turned it on.
I thought it died.
It did, but I just plugged in the thing. Oh. It's totally fine. I'm very sneaky. Oh. Yeah. But Blaze AI is my brain, and it's incredible. It's so cool. The way that the prompts are built in, like you don't have to feed it a certain prompt. You know how with Chat GPT, it's like to give it this prompt and it'll pop it out. Well, your brain, mine doesn't remember prompts, and I'm not going to go back and copy and paste. It's literally just, I want this, make it happen. And then it's like, it's pretty cool. It's been spot on. And then there's, I'm looking at my tabs. There's a couple of really cool things but technology. So I want to go back to the bullies. So these people, they come in and they say, you're not real. Here's my degree. But did you not have bullies say, don't put that on the internet? We don't talk about what we do, that kind of stuff.
I had that at the beginning.
I didn't have it at the beginning. I had it in the, like, I say middle because like it was after that. So what were they saying in the beginning?
I had a video go viral and this UK paper picked it up and then people put it in the funeral director Facebook page.
Oh no.
And they were mad at, oh no. Then all the old timers get it. And they were mad that I had talked about industry behind the scenes. So then I think they went to my TikTok and then left comments and were like, we shouldn't talk about this. How dare you? This is disrespectful. But at the same time, I was answering somebody's question and they really wanted to know. And I answered as respectfully as I possibly could. And I don't regret answering that question because at the end of the day, it's not about the likes and the views, because if I did it for the likes and the views, I would be depressed as fuck.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because it's so up and down. You can't guarantee views or anything like that.
I came into the funeral profession right before the changing of the guard. So we didn't even have an answering service. We were answering the land. Yeah, it was that. So I had started doing tours of the funeral home. Ironically, the video that went viral that started the whole thing for me. It was 2018, my alma mater. It's a Catholic private school, so very faith-based, and they came through the process. Obviously, no loved ones were present, but I took them as if they were a deceased loved one that died at the hospital, and I took him behind the curtain and showed them how they got to the chapel. Pretty intriguing. There are people from that class that actually went to mortuary school, and even after the fact. But I remember the first year I did that, the boss was very excited for him to come, but he was so nervous about what they might say or ask or I say. So after they left, he goes, "How'd it go?" I was like, "It went awesome." He started asking, "Well, what did they ask?" And I would tell him, and he was like, "Oh, you told them that?" And I said, "Why does that matter?" And I figured it out. They started in 1962 working in the funeral industry profession. So they were on the tail end. I guess that was like Vietnam. And then before that, even they grew up Korean War, and they saw this, the grief. It wasn't a talked about thing. And if you did talk about it, it was disrespectful. So they didn't share what happened behind the scenes, the trocar, the aspiration, the feature building, whatever, because they didn't want to possibly hurt someone. They didn't want to hurt someone to know that that process happened. But now here we are, pandemic, post-pandemic, people want to know everything. People literally want to know why. And I get it. And that is what these I call them seasoned, by the way, the seasoned people in the profession. I have to give them credit.
Old timers.
Yeah, I have to give them credit because like they're crotchety old men. I mean, they have to be. I mean, but they've been doing it for 50 years. They've devoted every ounce of their being to it. And you stepping away to be a parent, even compared to their tenure and how painful that was, the thought it's all they've ever known. And for anyone to come in and maybe in their mind disgrace the profession, I would get it too. I mean, there are people, surprisingly, like late 40-year-old women saying like, no one should ever talk about what happens in the embalming room. And I'm like, you just actually painted the profession gross. That sounds like we're keeping a bunch of secrets back there. Like we're doing weird things.
That sounds weird.
Very weird. And I said that.
Like if I'm going to go have, let's say, a surgery done, I want to know everything. I want to know what's going to happen to me. I want to know what good, the bad. I want to know everything.
Yeah.
And if I had the surgeon, if I'm going to go get a tummy tuck and the surgeon's like, no, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about
we'll
what happened.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm going to the next guy then because I need to know what you're going to do.
Absolutely.
It's weird. It's the only profession where it's weird to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's a way to say it nice, that's respectful. And I have found that. I mean, I feel like everything that I've always said, and even you, there's nothing, like, whenever you're not playing around, but showing like the floating, what was it? What'd you throw in the pool? Was it the car seat? Was it the car seat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's funny. That's like a shtick. That's like, obviously if you had a kid on it, that'd be fucked up. But
that would be one thing.
Yeah, no, but there's never a time where, I don't know. I've had so many old seasoned people say like, you are a disgrace to the profession. And I'm like, appreciate that. So now that's where I'm like, I have dignity. I say it in lives. I've said it on podcast episodes. I'm like, you know what? This profession is an absolutely incredible thing. And it's filled with incredible people who would take care of total strangers at the drop of a hat, but they're absolutely shit at taking care of their own. Mm-hmm. I don't know about you. If I had someone write me and said, if they didn't approve of something, instead of just critical, it would be like, Nathan, this is how I have perceived this. Perhaps shift it a little and try it this way. Maybe that would help. And it would put other people at ease that might otherwise have seen it similar to how I have. I would say, thanks, stranger. That actually means a lot. And I would attempt it. right? Criticism without construction is just noise, in my opinion. What are your thoughts? Or did that affect you at first, or not at all?
I think that I am used to being around these old timers in real life. And people don't talk enough about this, but the old timers, so let's say in the state of Minnesota, you're going to get the old timers and they own the funeral homes and they all think that they do it the best and you do it wrong. And you can't talk them out of that they're not the best, but they believe that they're the best. So they will, if somebody calls and they're price shopping, they're going to deduct their pricing so that they get the call. And if they don't get the call, they take that as a hit to their ego.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And when you, Mr. Nathan, are online and you're talking about what we do, and maybe they don't agree with one word or one way that you mentioned something, they take it personally. And then they take it out on you. And that's not fair to you.
That's definitely happened. That's for sure. It's interesting.
You can't take it personal.
No, not at all.
Because you could never reason with that type of person.
No. I read Keanu Reeves. He was quoted saying something, and I'm not able to quote it perfectly, but basically he's at the point in his life where someone can tell him 2 + 2 = 5, and he's just going to say the word, okay.
I'm that same way.
Yep. Yeah. People, you're not going to talk someone in and out of thinking what they think, especially these types of people. And you're right. And I'm going to do a series on this, by the way. I'm going to contact funeral homes across the country. I'm going to cold call them, and I'm going to bleep out their names, of course, but I'm going to show people how crappy phone etiquette is in funeral profession.
Yeah. You know what you should do? You should, so my mom took in a guy.
Yeah.
And he was dying, and we ended up adopting him like our own grandpa. He didn't have any kids.
That's sweet.
So my mom, who's been around the funeral profession her whole life, but now her and my dad are divorced, so she's not going to call my dad.
Right.
She had to call funeral homes. So she called and she asked for pricing on a direct burial. And it was really interesting for her to call these places, and they would give her different pricing that it was different than what they had online or on their general price list. And then she went into one place, she sits down, and the guy's like, all right, here's the price. She goes, no, you quoted me less. You quoted me about 2K less. And he goes, ha, nice one. And she pulled out a piece of paper and she said, no, you said this. And then he pulled out a piece of paper and he had timestamps on what he was telling people and when they called and how much he was telling them, because he just wanted to reel them in. So I'd be super interested if you called, pretended you had somebody that was near death, and then see what prices you get, and then compare it to what they had online.
So that is, what are your thoughts on, do you think that the FTC should go ahead and push it to where funeral homes have to display their pricing online?
I thought that was a thing already. Is that state by state?
I thought that it was going to be national, but it hasn't gone national yet. So in Kentucky, you still don't have to.
Oh, I hate that.
Yep, absolutely.
It should be.
I
like hospitals.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I think it requires of professionals to raise the bar for even their staff. And that's what I mean by even phone etiquette, because people, they mean well, but you and I both know people in the profession, they're not business people. They just want to help people for the most part. That guy was a douche, but they're not good at at that point, the phone call is all you get as far as making an impression. They're not good at really selling themselves. This is why it's this much. This is all the things that we're going to do for you. Call them by name. I bet you your mom was not even asked, is this under delicate circumstances? Who are you calling for? What's the name of the individual? It's amazing. They're like, oh, well, that's a direct burial. That'll be $55.95. Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Call me back. I've heard it. Give us a call back if we can help you. What the fuck do you mean? I literally just called you and you just gave me a price and you said, okay, bye. So messed up.
That was the one thing I was taught, that if you have a shopper and they call, you need to talk to them and get to know them, get them to slow down. Even if you're more expensive, if you were more personable and you made an impression on them and you came across that you care, they'll still call you back, even if you're not the cheapest price.
Yep.
And I didn't make commissions. I've never worked somewhere where I made commissions.
I don't know of a place that made that. I didn't give commission. The only thing I gave commission to was commission sales like monuments, because that is commission only, but not from an at-need side. And I didn't care what casket people selected. I didn't care.
Up in Minnesota, there's dignity memorials all over.
Got it. There's not a dignity in where I was now, like Louisville, Kentucky. I don't know if they've made it to Lexington. They probably have, but I don't know why people are so scared of. What are your thoughts on corporate? I mean, are you like...
I would never work at a corporate funeral.
Okay, but like, what are your thoughts are? Do you think it's like doom and gloom, or do you think it's not so... Why don't you want to ever work at corporate? What are your thoughts?
I had some girlfriends that worked at corporate, and it is so cutthroat there. Step over the other one. They're trying to sell people up on things. They're so focused on numbers and how much they can sell. It's a really toxic work environment.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. See, I'm over here. That's probably going to be my biggest downfall in everything I do, is I see the good in people, and I'm like, oh, well, there's strength in numbers, and you can give more value offerings, maybe even offer more affordable options because you have buying power and you have all these resources, and you're over here like cutthroat as shit. Yeah.
And I'm not to say that there's not good funeral directors.
Touch your screen so your phone, because you're out of focus right now.
Am I now?
No, yeah. Now, let me see. I don't know. There you go. Boom.
And it's not to say that there are not good funeral directors at Dignity, because I know that there are good funeral directors there. It's just I wouldn't work there because I couldn't handle the environment.
Yeah. You're out of focus again.
I don't do well under pressure like that.
You're out of focus again. Does it look out of focus to you, or am I just...
No.
Huh.
I'll just stay closer.
No, that's fine. So, yeah, Dignity, there's a company in Canada that was getting a lot of grief. They had it undercover. You should watch. I mean, it's on YouTube. That's what I like to watch.
I haven't seen that one.
I love watching like crime, and I don't like crime, but I like the podcast type stuff where they're trying to figure out what happened. But in Canada, I'm not going to say the company, but on like 5 different occasions, they went in and were price shopping and were having hidden cameras. And the people were saying stuff like, you do want your loved one to have the best, and all these like weird stuff. I've never experienced that. And it just takes a few bad apples. And I would punch somebody in the throat if I heard them ever say something like that. It
reminds me of Bernie, that movie Bernie.
Yeah. Are you? Oh, yeah. Yes.
With the stash.
Yes.
Like Jack Black with the casket.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so weird.
That was weird. I didn't care if they bought like the most expensive or most affordable. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think, because still 1 billion% of the profession, they don't embrace technology. They still don't. I mean, their Facebook pages, they post only obituaries. That's so stupid. It's like, well, Bertha Joe just died. It's like,
Poor Bertha.
No, Bertha Joe, damn it to hell. She had that lymphoma. I told her to cut back on them Marlboro Reds. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think that, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think it will be adapt or die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Corporate's going to come in.
I mean, they already are in droves.
Continue.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Walmart. Walmart came in, drove all the small grocery store chains out of business. It's going to be the same thing with corporate America funeral homes.
But funeral home owners, they're not necessarily business savvy. And that's not a bad thing. They literally just did a great job. They took care of people. They got a check handed to them if they even collected payment. Because, oh, well, I know him. He said when the crop comes, he's going to take that harvest. I've heard it, literally. And they were good for it. But then there are other people like, I swear I'll be right back. I'm going down the street. And you do the service, and then you don't hear from them. They ghost. But they get the check. They put it in the bank. And they're like, oh, wow. Money is grown and accrued. I guess I'm doing great. But then you have the business side. And they're like, unable to make business decisions. I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
It's going to be super interesting. There's not the owners aren't having their kids go into it anymore.
Nope.
It's changing from a male dominated industry to women.
And then I feel that there's going to, excuse me, I feel that it's going to come to a head there too, somehow. Yeah. Yeah. But the last few years, specifically, women have been rock stars in it. Right. And I don't feel that, I don't know if you've experienced it. Maybe you have to some degree. I never did this, nor did I witness it in the company that I owned. Women were our strongest, and not just, they're naturally empathetic, naturally nurturing, non-threatening, more gentle, and they were amazing. But I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Did you experience any type of like sexist women? You need to be answering the phones
on TikTok? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so freaking weird.
Thankfully, not in real life. I had people that wanted me. They're like, "Oh, why didn't we get her?"
It's amazing. Yeah, that's awesome. That's so fun. That's awesome. Have you ever had like a very awkward, uncomfortable thing happen at the funeral home where a family, I don't know, I'm over here trying to push on you one of my stories, but do you have anything that's kind of that happened that you're like, okay, buddy or budette?
All the time.
Yeah.
I had a guy, his mom died at a hospital and she wanted to have a home funeral. So he told the hospital, he said, "I'm taking Ma home." And the hospital let him. He took her across state lines. He put her in a box.
Oh.
He brought her all the way home and he said, "What the fuck do I do now?" And the lady that was supposed to help him do the home funeral, she wouldn't answer her phone. So we ended up calling the funeral home, and then I had to call the medical examiner's office because he's got Ma dead in the driveway. Oh. I get there and he's asking me out on a date.
That's amazing.
It was so awkward.
Yep.
I'm like, "I'm just here to help you with your mom. He wants to go to a movie."
That's incredible.
Then I found out he was kind of
not all there.
No, he was on the green plant.
That's amazing.
He was just happy to be there.
That's awesome. I have a similar story to that. We go to a residence. The father has adult children. He's under hospice and he had passed away. I show up, and this is when I wore glasses. You can't see without his glasses. I've had surgery.
Glasses? I want to see them.
I used to, yeah. I don't wear them anymore. I wear the blue light ones because I look at screens all the time, and they really do help. They're only like $10. Anyway, that's my plug. I show up, and this woman answers it. It's the door, and it's the daughter, and she immediately is like, "Oh my God." Yes. Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh shit, what's going on here?" They all were participating in partying and drinking wine. They were celebrating. It was one of those cool families, but she's drunker than Cooter Brown. And she goes and walks me to the hospice nurse, and she's like, "You better take him in there before I take him back there, and my dad won't like what he sees."
Oh my.
Oh, she is all about me. She's over here. After I receive her father, she has two brothers, and then one of them were married, and the wife was there. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, you need to stop and leave him alone." She's like, "I'm not leaving him alone." And she's saying the most ornery shit ever. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is nuts." Get her dad out, and I go back in. One of the things that I would do is when you had two, because this was a home transfer, so the person that was with me stayed in the van, and I went back to say, "We'll see you this time tomorrow. Thank you for entrusting us." She comes up to me, and you know how like girlfriends to boyfriends will put their hand on the boyfriend's chest. Like she is like, yes. And she's looking up at me with these puppy dog eyes. I'm like, "Woman, what in the hell is going on here?" Yeah, that really happened. Let's see. What's another thing that's happened? Well, when I lived above the funeral home, after I would work, I would go upstairs, the main flights. The apartment was awesome. I would get a bowl of cereal, and I'd end up, Al Bundy underwear, just 4 kids, and I'd be sitting there just eating my cereal. And the door opens. literally just in my underwear eating cereal. And just imagine you're a 14-year-old girl, but there are 3 of them. And they walk in, they look at me, and they're like, oh. And I'm like, I have a cereal. I'm like, hello? They just dart down the stairs. I'm like, we're moving the fuck out. Yeah. Yes, the weirdest stuff happened.
They just bust in there?
Yeah. You know good and as anybody, you walk through the funeral home, they're like, I wonder what's behind this door. What's behind that door? Yeah, absolutely. There's been some very odd things that have happened over the years. Yeah. There was a man. I got another one. We didn't serve him, but I thought this was sweet and sad at the same time. Dude gets arrested because he buried his brother in the backyard. So they thought it was foul play. Yep.
Oh, no.
Yep. Come to find out, he was a very poor man, poor brother. They were best friends. They were very poor. And his reasoning, he got out of jail. He was in jail. And one of the local funeral directors, God bless him, helped to essentially disinter him from the backyard and give him a proper burial. And he said, I didn't want to call a funeral home because I didn't want to give them a financial burden because I couldn't afford it. And I thought that was sad and considerate at the same time, because people who have the means, it seems like, don't want to honor their obligations. Yeah. I mean, have you had people ask you or think that it's free funerals?
I have veteran, like, oh, the VA is going to pay for it.
Yeah, they'll give you $255 death benefit or whatever, a headstone. And even then, if you pick the headstone, you still have to pay for the foundation yourself. So crazy. So messed up. It's so messed up. What is the next little bit? Like, are there any projects or things that you're working on that you can or will talk about?
I'm going on a girls' trip.
Where are you going?
We're going to Puerto Rico.
Puerto Riqueño? Is it really just a bunch of girls?
Spanish, I don't.
Oh, just a bunch of girls. Just awesome. For a week? For 5 days? 4 days? What?
5 days.
It's amazing. Are you? Me? What do I have going on? I've got these shows coming up. It's been pretty.
Yeah, you're coming to Florida.
I am. And I will tell everybody that's listening that how far of a drive is it? I won't give you too much shit. It's like, it'd be a long drive.
It's 4 hours and 50 minutes.
Yeah, that's stupid. That's
I know, it's killing me because I really want to go to your show.
That would be ridiculous. That would be crazy. I appreciate it.
I would do it, but I'm like,
that's a long time.
If it was 3 hours, no problem. 4 hours, I get antsy.
But then you have the 50 minutes. So it's like 5 hours. So you're literally half of your entire day is in a car. I get it.
If I left at the crack of ass, it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Crack of ass. The crack of dawn. Make like a tree and get the fuck out. Yeah, that's what I have going on. I just have the shows and just navigating this new world. I mean, it's still fresh, figuring out, you show up to work every day and then you look around and you're in this cool space and you get to create and you love it. But then you're like, there's got to be more. That's what I'm always saying in my head. Yeah. There's got to be more to life. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
There we go. I don't know. This thing's a piece of shit. Kill it. Yeah, that's what's going on. So I really do. I do want to do that thing where you post and it'd be a random. It's kind of like that gift at Christmas that everyone, you give like the worst, shittiest gift and the person that goes home with it then re-gifts it forever and always. That's what I want to create with you, like a forever battle where we create some sort of weird ass funeral related ASMR, but we don't ever talk about it. It just, people will start to catch on and we just tag each other.
Have you seen that video of the gal? And she has the fruit and she goes, cocoa bean. And she like cuts the fruit.
No.
And then the guy's like, not a cocoa bean. And he has a super dull knife and he attempts. And then she's like, coffee. And she pours coffee into it. And then the guy's like, oh, coffee. And so he's copying her every time.
No. But, they don't know each other?
No. It's so funny.
That's amazing.
I'll send it to you. It's kind of like what you're saying.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to do something like that. And that'll be our forever collab. And people will be like, what the
I
hell's
still think
going
we
on?
should collab on a song, and I'll be your backup singer.
I said that, but you said that you were not going to do it
I'll
because
try.
we should. I would love that. That would be awesome. That would.
I'll come to, what state am I going to? Where are you again?
I'm in Kentucky, but I'm literally going to be in, I could literally pack all of this shit up and we could, that reminded me of one time we were on tour and we went to this old convent, scary, like old, like, yeah. And they put they were old mattresses from like so gross. And we created a makeshift vocal booth. It sounded so amazing, by the way. Yeah, we could go in and go to some like creepy, we go and do vocals and have I'm just totally kidding about the mattresses doing that now, but yeah, I've got everything. We can come up with some, and we could like, be amazing. That's awesome.
Or you just come to Kentucky.
Or you could just come to Kentucky. That's fine. Yeah, we would love to have you anytime. Y'all come, leave the kids. I said last time, just put the kids like a doggy gate up. You said no doggy gate. Okay, that's fine. I guess we won't do that.
Or I could go to 4 hours and 50 minutes.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, do we drive?
What are we going to say?
If we're driving, I don't know. Are we driving down? Are we driving through to get to you?
No.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know. Because if we were, then we could pick you all up in the bus and then just keep on going. And then that way you
bus? You get a bus too?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. I'm not driving in no 15-passenger van anymore. We did that. How dare? No, it's you kind of pick your poison at that point, right? I mean, I'm going to do it. We're going to do it right. Yeah. Anyway, where can people find you outside of where do you want people to find you?
You can find me anywhere at LaurentheMortician.
That's all her name is in real life. Like that, she legally changed it.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for our friendship, and I'm grateful that we're able to watch each other succeed. And it means a lot to me that we're recording this podcast at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, you're one of my first friends on social media.
I know.
I'm glad to have you.
I love it. Well, you're awesome. Thank you for everything. I appreciate it.